Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending with wherever you are in this part of the world. Welcome back to Buhera at Shumbasville, where relaxation is simplified, where we are building our rural retirement homestead in Buhera, Zimbabwe. Thank you to you, all my subscribers, for your ongoing support, sharing, commenting, and liking, and continuously tuning in. And thank you to you all, those watching from the balcony and terraces, as well as those who have just bumped into my channel. Please do consider subscribing. Thank you once again to you all. In this video, guys, I'm just going to take you through final touches to renovations of our paddocks within our homestead. As you know, we are nearly to that time again of Kusairira Mombe. So we need to make sure we make it super tight. If we have any heifers nearing calving and any livestock that are not well enough to leave the homestead so that they can remain and graze within. So as you can see, all this, it is within the homestead and the paddocks. So this is where we are going to cut some cuttings for the renovations of the paddocks. At the same time, we'll be clearing the ground as well, so that we can plow and plant or grow when the rains comes again around in November, December, the sunherb, banana grass, and napier grass. So it's positive cutting of trees. It's not a negative way of doing it. It is a positive way of cutting the trees, getting ready to clear the ground, preparing for growing our banana grass. We have done our trial. It has worked. So we now need a bigger area to do so. So utilizing the trees that we are going to cut, guys, these are the same trees we are going to use for the fencing of our paddocks. And we are also going to use it as droppers. So here we go. We have finished cutting our trees. And we are now ready. Starting putting the poles. So we're dropping them around the areas that needs final touches. Part of the paddocks have been done, and we have also put the droppers. So this is mainly the other grazing area and the area that we are also going to continue growing our sunherb, banana grass, and the napier. Like I said, we have already done our trial, so now we need a bigger area as we are also preparing to make our own feeds. You know, cost of living has gone high. At the same time, it's also nice and great to, utilize whatever you have within the homestead to make our own feeds. As you know, we are homesteaders who have livestock, and we love our livestock. So what we are doing, guys, in terms of these final touches to our paddocks, we need to make sure the paddocks are super tight. Super tight. And this is where we are going to nurse our cows about to give birth, the springers or heifers. Cows covers everything, as you are aware. It can be those who have already given birth, but in here I mean the female, and especially the heifers, the ones we want them to be very close to the house. The young female cows that has not yet given birth, we also keep the cows, the springers, the ones that are nearing calving, close to the house, because, so many things can happen during this process of giving birth. So having super tight paddocks, you keep them in, they're not gonna go out grazing, and at the same time it gives us the opportunity to keep a close eye on them, especially like I said, the heifers, the ones we want them to be very close to the house, the young female calves that has not yet given birth. We also keep the cows springers, the ones that are nearing calving, like I said, as well as the sick ones. Because when your animals are not feeling well, you don't just want to let them go grazing or go far away from you. You want to make sure you keep them as close as possible to you. So within our homestead, definitely it will be very close to the house. So these are the paddocks that surround the house and that are very close as well, that we can actually see what is happening. It's all about having paddocks very close to the house where we keep the heifers. Like I said, that is the pregnant ones. And the ones that is their first time, they haven't given birth before. And the calving ones, these are the ones that need TLC because 1, they haven't got no experience. 2, it is their first time. 3, you as the owner, you just have to make sure they are very close. And what we actually do for these ones, the calving ones, what we usually do, sometimes we actually even wake up at night time to check on them, because you don't know what is going on. You don't even know when are they going to give birth. So the reasons for wanting them to be close to the house is majorly for monitoring their safe delivering of the calves. Like I said, the dilation of the cervix, delivery of the calf, and delivering of the placenta. As a farmer, rather, when you have pregnant heifers, knowing the normal birth process helps to decide whether or not to intervene. Sometimes they might need help. So by making sure our paddocks are super tight, it is a way of trying to make sure we safeguard them as well. So without the support of our community, guys, our casual workers, we wouldn't be able to do this. We always appreciate them, highly appreciate them. As you can see here, they are the ones putting the barbed wire, making sure everything is done to the best of their ability. And running this barbed wire as well, one has to be careful, health and safety, because anything can happen during this process, guys. So we have to make sure we maintain that people are safe, as well as our springers are safe as well, because they need close monitoring. They must be regularly inspected, like I said, to make sure everything is okay, that the delivering process is smooth, because they can actually get into complications. So this is when one needs to be on hand to help support them. Our paddocks, guys, they are massive. So here we're just going along, trying to make sure everything is done. I know one of the videos, their fence has fallen down, and due to, having so many things going on, the rain season, growing of crops, you cannot do everything at once. But now that we are in the process of harvesting, even though we haven't as yet finished harvesting, but at least during those days we are not doing it, it will also be the time for us to concentrate on making sure the fence is done. Well done. So this is where we are. We are making sure the droppers are in. We are making sure the fence is well done. At some point, if we grow big, we plan to put the fence around the whole homestead, not the barbed wires, but the actual fence. I don't know what's the name you might call it, but that is what we are planning to do, because with that one, then everything will be perfecto. There'll be no need to check to see if there's anything crawling in, or how did the livestock manage to come out of the grazing areas. With that one, we'll be so protected, and will also protect our animals. Community, guys, is very important, and working and looking after your casual workers is also very important, because these people, we are all people, and we are a family, and without them one wouldn't be able to do much. So being nice and good to each other produce good yields. So we work with our locals, we work with our community to help us. We help each other. On the other side, we are helping each other. So you can see, guys, why I was saying, sometimes cutting of the trees is clearing the land at the same time, preparing for the field that we are going to grow our banana grass. And I can rather say our feeds for our livestock. So all this area, you can see how big it is. And you see the guys are working, taking a stroll. And this area it's like a swamp. It holds water so much in this side of the grazing area, or this side of the paddock, which is good as well anyway for our grass, I suppose. So yes, it's hard work. This is hard work. You have to communicate, you have to, be attentive, you have to, you have to be careful at the same time. And in terms, when I say you have to communicate with the other person on the other end, so that what you are doing, you are both doing what you are supposed to be doing. So communication is also very important. And for our posts, guys, we just have to do the concrete posts as well. We did our own casting of the concrete posts because we wanted to make it really strong. We don't want to repair it every year. So after this repair, definitely we're not going to do anything for the next maybe 3-4 years. What we might need to do is just to put maybe some droppers in between. That is if it's required. And we also hope by then maybe we will be able to put the fence, like not the barbed wire, but the fence right round the homestead. Even though it will be a big job, a big project. But one way or another, it has to be done. So our fence, guys, for now, we are happy with it. We don't have any concerns. We don't have anything. We can put our livestock in here to graze freely and independently without us being worrying like they're going to come out or anything. So you can see we have 4 lines there. And the guys are making sure everything is done. Not cutting corners. You see the lines, how neat it is. The barbed wire. So after putting all these poles, the droppers needs to be in. Yeah, the work continues. The work continues, finishing putting the barbed wire, or I can say pulling or kudonza. I don't know the right word, but the next stage it will be making sure the droppers are in. For now you can see it's just the barbed wire being stretched. So all here. And partly the droppers are in, but the majority of the paddocks, the droppers are there waiting to be slotted in. So we have to make sure we put the droppers to maintain the fence integrity and help spread the stock pressure from a single wire to all wires in the fence. We need to make sure by putting droppers, the livestock will not escape. Vice versa as well, the outsiders livestock, we don't want them to come inside and graze or eat our banana grass, the grass that we will be growing in here. As for the barbed wire, we have 4 lines. You have seen that we have 4 lines. We are putting it. We needed to support, this wire, barbed wire, to be supported by the droppers. Because if we just put the barbed wire without the droppers, animals, livestock can come in and they can easily leave as well. They can come outside and even human beings, they'll be just jumping through. Fence. So this barbed wire that we have put, the 4 lines we have put, they need support from the droppers. They also help extend the life of the fence and keep it looking good. Because if we don't put the droppers, like what I've just said, people will be coming through, the livestock can come inside and ours can also come outside. So it's more of making sure what is outside stays outside, what is inside stays inside. That's what we are doing here. As we are doing this, someone was asking me about the spacing of the droppers. Our casual workers, they were saying, do we need to measure the spacing? But for us guys, we haven't been making it a big deal. But we're just making sure the spacing of the droppers are good enough for people or livestock not to go through between each dropper. And at the bottom as well, like the first line of the barbed wire, we are leaving the gap at the bottom of the fence, but it still is not enough for people or livestock to crawl through. We are making sure we are not leaving any gap for livestock or human beings to go through, because this kills the fence. And we don't have the resources to keep repairing for this kind of human error. So we're going to make sure everything is super tight. Now we have put the droppers. It looks so nice. Super tight. As you can see. going along the path. I'm not going to be able to go right at the end of, this paddock we have been repairing because it's a long walk. And to go right round the whole homestead, when I tried to do it, I think I was walking fast. I wasn't walking leisurely. I was walking fast, and it took me 1 hour, I think 1 hour plus, just walking outside the homestead along the fence. It's something that is really big. It is really big. So our paddocks, guys, as you can see, our animals are grazing. They are very important to us. Our paddocks are very important to us. They provide a safe space for our livestock, for them to graze, rest, and socialize. And like I said at the beginning, it's also very important and good for our heifers nearing calving. Our animals are grazing freely. We still need to measure at some point how big each paddock is. Everything takes time, guys. Everything takes time. As for me personally, having paddocks brings so much joy. Seeing my livestock at close proximity, being surrounded by the livestock. You wake up, you see your cows grazing along the paddock fence. It is, I don't know, sometimes I struggle to describe, the joy that brings, the joy that it brings. I think one has to experience it in order to understand. So this water here, guys, is our mini dam that we have dug. Now we are wishing if we have dug it bigger and more deeper, because the purpose at the first why we did it, we were having water stagnant, and some of the waters were now making like, can I say trenches or causing erosion. So we dug it in a way that all the water can now flow into that mini dam, which now the livestock is utilizing. And in the future, I think we need to have a bigger dam that will serve the whole community actually, because it's not just going to be for us alone. We just need something that will serve the whole community. How nice it is seeing your animals grazing. And these cows, guys, this is where we have grown our sunherb, the napier grass. It was kind of an experiment. We've experimented and we have learned a lot from that. And we didn't even cut it. We just let them graze freely. But our next, grow, we are going to make sure now we are going to harvest it, use it to make feeds for our livestock. But for this time, we didn't do it. Now they are actually grazing in it. Like I said, as for me personally, having paddocks very close to the house, it brings so much joy. Waking up, seeing sheep, the goats on this side, and heifers nearly calving on the other side, the other crew on the other side as well, just grazing. Even just the joy of rotating the paddocks, guys, it's so amazing. Fertilizing themselves, because by having these livestock in there, they are actually pulling in there the manure. I enjoy so much walking in the paddocks while livestock are grazing, but I greatly avoid at all costs to walk in paddocks where there are cows with their cows, because I was once pushed in the fence when I was young. I didn't know, and I thought I could catch one of the cows. Oh my God. The mother pushed me straight into, at least it was a wooden fence. But yes, I sustained some injuries And obviously, the elder who was there got some disciplined. So guys, this is where we are now. You can see, like I said, this is where we grew our banana grass, the sun herb, and the napier grass. We didn't harvest it. Now we're just letting them graze. We are going to make sure this time, from the experience that we have had, we are going to do a better job if it rains. So guys, once again, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your ongoing support. We are done with our paddock and we are nearly close to finishing our harvesting. So in the comment section, guys, tell me, when a wife is in the rural area growing and when they finish harvesting everything, what do? Do they remain in the rural area making sure they start preparing or what? Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you once again.